Welcome to Phoenix Business Exchange Bell's Corners edition. Hey, it's 7 degrees Celsius right now, going up to 21. That's promises to be had, right? So, it's sunny out there. It's been a beautiful weekend, and hopefully you've had a good one yourself. Let's talk about Phoenix and the Phoenix Business Exchange and how you might want to come on in if you're looking in from the outside in. Come on in and join us. And for our members that have joined us today, we're going to the pbex.ca site, pbex.ca. Member of the week is Eric Perron. He's out of the Thursday group, and Eric's e-card's right here, and he has an educational piece that he's got on the Phoenix Business Exchange website. Actually, it's attached to his e-card. Monday mornings, that's us right now, 8 to 9 Eastern. Click here, come on in. This is where you can join us. Just click this button. And you know what? Wednesday morning, you can join us here too, 8 to 9 Eastern. Thursday morning, typically, it's 8 to 9. This Thursday, though, we're doing it in person, starting at 7:30 and online at River Lounge. Oh, tomorrow, 7 p.m., after hours group. You know what? If you have projects you want to have someone to help you keep accountable, and not so much as in like, getting, someone arm barring you into a thing, but just to help you keep track of what you should be focusing on, come on in. That's a great place to visit. Upcoming member events. Kat does a really fantastic job keeping things updated in this particular space, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. Canada Growth Network, that's today at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, free to attend. We have different guest speakers, and I'll share the information details about that ever so shortly. And East Trade Winds, that's tomorrow at 8 to 9 Eastern. Again, free to attend, guest speakers, meeting business folks, across Canada and around the globe. East End at Hive, Zoom on May 20th and in person. So May 20th, that's a Wednesday at 7:30. And hey, there's a South End group. That is the 30th, Thursday. Come on in. You know what? Just come visit or just come online. QR directory. So you hear someone talking today. Maybe it's about you need to get some windows fixed. You need the honeydew list. Maybe you need tires swapped out. Maybe you need to know about a house. Maybe you need to know about food, or maybe getting a mortgage, or you've been concussed. Gosh, that's a handy thing to have, right? We have Shane that can help you out in there. And so that QR directory has all our members in that space. I just kind of did a round robin of everybody here. And Tony does a sound bath, and just have sound waves cascading over your soul in time. And what else to share with you? E-cards. 180 people have used that click button on the e-cards. And we've done over $5 million worth of business since 2016, just between members. Year to date is 21,988, so almost $22,000 a year to date. So that is kind of the preamble of hey, why you want to come in and join us at Phoenix Business Exchange. There are opportunities to be had, marketing, etc. We're now going to swing over and get an educational minute from Tony Ginnis. Tony, the mic is yours, sir.
Thank you very much, Bernie. At this time of year, a lot of things are coming up in terms of people are coming in looking for quotes, looking for things. It's just the start of the season. In my case, there is a season for this, as there is in many, but it's not as prevalent as like changing tires, swapping out things, like handyman stuff, because that's very much a seasonal thing. But if you get people that are saying, can you give me a price? And then I give it to them, and I give the same price right across the board. And then if somebody says, can you do any better? Can you go any lower? Can you give me a better price? To come in to do a full tuning session is $150. So if they say, can you do it for $100? I says, absolutely. But I have to take out then the reading, or I have to take out something to make it so that we can only do this in an hour. Most of my sessions are an hour and a half. That's why I charge $150. However, if I do go over, it's still $150. So it's sort of a flat rate. So if you want it for $100, then you're only going to get an hour, and that's it. If you go $150, it may go 2 hours. So in other words, when you talk about value in terms of price, you sort of weed out the customers that are only looking for a better price, a better way, a free t-shirt, a free something else. It's always nice to get those other things. However, one thing was told to me many years ago was a person that knows the price of everything knows the value of nothing. They only look at price at the bottom line, and in most cases, the price doesn't mean anything. It really doesn't. Like if somebody says to you, "Could you give me $1,000 and I'll give you back 3,000?" Then you would think that $1,000 is very good investment. But if I say, "Give me 5 cents and I won't give you back anything," oh, all of a sudden, can you do it for 2 cents? It can get ridiculous at some times. But when a person is looking for only price, you've already know that they are looking for not value, but something else. And who knows what that is? Only the buyer would know. But when a buyer knows value, when I go into a restaurant and I see the waitress or the waiter constantly coming over, "You guys okay? You doing all right?" And I could see that he's handling an entire wing. Sometimes I'll go in for breakfast early, and they're the only ones, and they're serving like 25 people by themselves. And on top of everything that's going on, they have time to say, "How are you doing, sir? Can I bring you another thing of coffee? Can I bring you some more water? Would you like orange juice?" Whatever. And that has value. So I always leave a nice tip. And I always say that in the beginning, when you come in, instead of giving the tip at the very end of the meal, give it in the beginning. Just say, here's $10. It's something for you and your family at the end of it. That way, they have in mind that they're not working for the restaurant, they're working for you. Again, you're giving value to something right front and center rather than looking only at the price. Because you can always buy a cheap breakfast, but you can't buy one that you'll remember. It has value. I gladly will pay double for a breakfast that I remember rather than the $5 for the one I want to forget. Back to you, Bernie.
Tony, thank you so much. And we're live on LinkedIn, and that link is in the chat. Put down some details out there, folks. It's a good way to share the wealth of information that's out there. I'm going to start off with Kelly and go to Shane. And Kelly, if you're available, go for it.
I
And
am indeed. Good
BAMs
morning.
and referrals. Good morning. Sorry, go ahead.
Don't worry. Don't worry. Everything's good. Tony, thank you for that education session. That was really insightful. And I've never thought to give a tip at the beginning. That's a great idea. Hi, everyone. My name is Kelly. I'm your real estate agent, sales representative. I work out of Forest Hill Real Estate, and I concentrate on the hands-on real estate experience in Ottawa as well as Toronto. Currently working with buyers in the range anywhere in between. So my approach is to combine market intelligence, facts, figures, data, along with a sharp skill for negotiating, and elevated client care. These two factors sort of create the tripod for my buying and selling experience for my clients. So I'm informed by data and I'm driven by what matters. I don't have any BAMs this week. Well, Kat and I have corresponded. I will be seeing Mr. Shane at Pro Action Sports Injury Clinic in Canada coming up, I believe, tomorrow. So I'll check my schedule. And that's about it for the moment.
Kelly, thank you so much. And as promised, the person speaking today is Orlando Darden. He helps folks get capital funding in the U.S. and could be an interesting conversation in that space. Master Shane Bayless, over to you, or Dr. Shane.
Well, the leprechaun is here for everybody. Green is my day. It was Earth Day last week, so maybe that's where I'm kind of going with this theme here. But all good. I'm Shane Bayless, Pro Action Health and Performance. Looking for all your aches and pains and other tips from concussions and stuff like that too. So I had a young gentleman come in. He's a rugby player this week. He's been dealing with a quad strain slash, could have been a tear, but it was about a year ago. He had just, he's on like the national team and they kick the ball a lot. And obviously in rugby, if you know the kind of game where they just sometimes just kick it randomly. And he was going there. He had a strain. he rested it, had some physio with just some exercises. Didn't really get that much better every time he went into activity. So he just avoided like doing his full out sprints and, kicking it that much. So he tried to just, obviously avoid those types of activities. Came and saw me because he heard about us through another friend who we treated their son for hockey injuries. And in the first, appointment, we could feel the scar tissue into his quad. Like there was just a lot of it right in the middle part where he was explaining the pain. And that's our bread and butter, right? Is get rid of all that stuff that's restricting range of motion, strength, and causing pain. So we did acupuncture at the beginning just to get the stimulation better. And then we gave him some exercise for the hamstrings to shear up that because it was relating a lot to his knees going forward. So we did that. And then we brought in Shockwave for the second treatment. Even after the first treatment, he was like 60% better already. He was kicking and running more. He hadn't done full out sprints yet because he was like still that cautious. Right after having it for a year, the last thing you want to do is, the year's starting up and start off with an injury that's made worse. Came and saw us. We got that better. Did the Shockwave the next time. He's coming in full sprints, full kicks, no problems whatsoever. And this is the time that sports are starting up. We got baseball players coming in from pitchers to hitters to rugby players, soccer players, all of them trying to get to their best performance and doing that. So if you know anybody that might be in that realm or is just looking to perform better, we're a good referral to come see us. Anyways, thank you so much. Thank you, Kelly, for coming in, and Tony sent his wife, and she's doing really well. That was another knee injury. We've had a few knee injuries lately for sure, so it's something that's maybe that time of the season. Maybe Tony can tell us, what animal spirit is coming through in the April months here. So have a good one, guys. Thanks again for all our referrals. And I thoroughly enjoyed being member of the week last week. Thank you very much. Take care.
Shane, thank you so much. Next quick push out is Paula Washington speaking at East Tradewinds. She helps people that are in a rut in their 50s, etc. And if they've been in corporate and want to get kind of leave that space, and she focuses on female entrepreneurs in that particular genre. And I'm going to swing over to Jacqueline and then Norm. Jacqueline, over to you, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone. What a beautiful day to open the door with the sun shining in, lifting your shoulders, taking them back, release them down. And as you exhale, you think, we are so lucky to be in this space. And I say that because my grandson was in CHEO, the Children's Hospital of Eastern Ontario, this weekend. And how blessed we are to have that facility to be able to accommodate our small people. In addition to that, to help accommodate the moms and pops who happen to be there as well. It's extraordinary how you find out that it's not just the children they're treating mom and dad too, that they have individuals there to help mom and dad through their crisis, through their traumas, to help them cry deeply and just allow it to arrive. I was amazed at the vibration that occurred in that hospital. I saw so many parents sitting and thinking and dreaming about heading home. It was, and I want to say, I did mortgage stuff too. Oh my gosh, I had a conversation with a client while I was in the waiting room, not ER, but they have this great special space just for the family to sit and retreat. And I was able to call a client and say, you know what, I'm at CHEO right now, and I will get back to your file as soon as I get back to my office. So we were all doing our thing. I'm so blessed to be here. And so even in CHEO, when you're looking for strategies for your mortgage money, I will pick up the phone and call while my grandson's being taken care of so you can speak to your mortgage honey.
Jacqueline, thank you so much. And next item is Carl Richards. He's got something going on this week, Wednesday from 11 to 1. It's the podcast quarterly meetup and mastermind. Come on in. And Norm, and then we will swing over to Sam. Go ahead, Norm.
Norm Boyer Boys Home Maintenance and Repair. I saved a sale for Eric this week by replacing some thermal panes in a bay window. Then you have a second listing that needs to replace the glass in the bay window. and it was $2,100 to put regular glass in. To move it up to the 366 Cardinal high performance glass, $125 on a $2,100 order. So it's a no-brainer to upgrade to the 366 glass if you have to replace glass. Um, Another thing we did, uh, I'm kind of giving a hint to Kelly, is Eric had a house for sale. Um, it was conditioned upon the building inspection, but they couldn't open the attic hatch, and the customer wanted to see into the attic hatch. So we went there with the purchaser and the purchaser's agent, and we opened the attic hatch. Um, the customer climbed up the ladder, looked into the attic, and said, "We're good." So that closed the sale. Just not being able to open an attic hatch. The other thing we do is the honeydew list. When customers or repeat customers, she's a landlord. We replaced a dishwasher, and then we had to break into the shed because the customer had the tenant that left had a lock on the shed, and they needed to get into the shed. So I told my son, take the bolt cutters or take the grinder in case. And my son said it was a Dollarama lock. The bolt cutters went through it like butter. Right, so that was some of the weird different things that we do. So that was the official sanctioned B&E that we did, right? And so it was uh, it was interesting that we have tools that go back like over 100 years. We have some of my dad's tools, some of my tools, some of Rick's tools, right? So I got all my dad's tools when he passed, before he passed away. Once he had Parkinson, couldn't use them. So I have tools that I have a bayonet in my toolkit. When I'm doing a patio door, there's where the two doors meet up top, there's a um, insulating piece on the top, and that needs to come out to take the patio door out. Well, the bayonet, uh, MK 1942, specifically from Britain, is the ideal tool to take that part of the patio door off, so I can lift the patio door, replace the wheels or grease the wheels, so that the patio door is sliding properly, and then I can put the patio door in and put the part back in and put the screws back in. So that's the interesting thing. We like our toys, because the difference between men and boys, the price of the toys, and my toys are tax deductible. Right, so I pay them with my through my company. I don't have to make $300 and have all the deductions, and then I can buy the $200 toy. I just buy it directly through my company. So that's why I keep doing it. I like doing it, and I have a lot of satisfaction doing something that other people uh, will turn away. I'm dealing with a condo right now. I have a bunch of doors that are the locks are gone on them. You can't buy the locks anyway. I got custom made parts so that we could fix these locks on condo 121. So that's some of the interesting things we do. The honeydew list, we get it done and we fix your home. Oh, yeah. So, and then I mentioned you want to know what contacts we did this week. So, Eric, I did that quote for the bay window where the panes have failed and it shows up on the building inspection. So, we'll see what happens with that.
Norm, thank you. I never thought you'd be running around with a bayonet as a tool, but hey, if it works, it works. That's no one's gonna try hijacking you or your truck. So we've got Kat Hurd. She can provide support, maybe not being at the hand-to-hand treating, but she can help move your content through the Phoenix network, right? So if you got something going on, you got a special going on, you got a drive coming on, which I think Carly's going to touch on in a little bit. That's the space to kind of announce it. Mr. Sam, how you doing? What's going on?
Thank you, Bernie. Good morning, everyone. Sam Sturz, ConnectedCars.ca. There's my contact information in the chat. Well, let's see. It's still tire season. I'm still putting summer tires on people's vehicles, but my appointments are starting to drop off. So most of my regular customers have already been done. So if you're looking for someone to do that, I still have some appointments next week. I can fit you in. Uh, Dash cameras are my main thing, but I also do minor repairs, oil changes, brake jobs, and tire installations. One thing I want to talk about this week is CVT transmissions. I think I mentioned it once before. If you bought a car that's, say, the last 10 years, more than likely you probably have a CVT transmission. It's called a continuous variable transmission. And these things are unfortunately fraught with trouble. Sorry. One thing I do recommend is if you haven't had the oil changed in one, do so because they can tell a lot about the potential problems before they happen. They don't want to see anyone stuck at the side of the road or have a breakdown. But if you have one of these transmissions in your vehicle, I highly recommend you get them looked at ahead of time before they cause you grief, especially if you have a warranty and may be able to cover the repair in the for it. Let's see. It's coming up car cleaning season. I'm going to mention it because I've already had two people book appointments for get their car cleaned by me. Some people call it it's a detailing. I still call it car cleaning, but I don't know where the detailing word came from, but um, I do a complete detailing, I should say cleaning of a car, both right from the inside, outside, trunk, even the engine compartment. I do a complete cleaning in that, and I can wash your car too if you want. Let's see here. BAMS wise, let's see. I was at the Hive last week. We had a Wednesday meeting that was live, and several of us were there. I think there were 6 people there, if I remember, Bernie. Or not. Let's see. Wendy is one of the people that wants her car cleaned by me, and I have an appointment for her. I think it's coming up next week for that. And I've been talking to Norm to get, let's see, these inserts, window inserts that my wife seems to like. And yes, Norm, we've been talking, but we haven't settled on a specific design. But I will be getting back to you as soon as we do. That's it for me. Sam Sturz, ConnectedCars.ca. Today's mobile electronics without the cost of a new vehicle, and a heck of a lot more.
Sam, thank you so much. And just to kind of recap, Sam does great work. Even if he's attending a meeting, he'll take pictures of you while you're doing your demo. So, Sam, again, thank you so much. Greatly appreciated. And next quick promo is Mr. Mike Wazowski. He's your fill-in, stand-in type of guy. He won't do comedy for you, but he will deliver the message about your business. So, what a good resource. If he's available, he'll come in and do it. Tony, over to you. Bang a gong. Sorry, that T-Rex song's not going to go away.
Bang your
If you don't
gong.
know,
Yeah,
if
I
you
know.
don't know
I love
T-Rex,
that song.
if you don't know T-Rex, you will soon. Just look it up.
I
Go ahead,
love
Tony.
that song. Hi, everybody. Tony Jennings from Higher Self. I'm the spirit guy of the group. And what Norm was saying, it would be great to be able to write off my motorcycle because I get such a spiritual experience when I'm on it. But Eric says no. You can't write it off. But I'm in the world where if you're looking for harmony, you're looking for getting balanced is really what happens. I had a client yesterday that was not feeling very well, has back pain and several other things going on, especially the knees. So Shane, you're right on. The knees do mean something. And but they went through X-ray, they went through ultrasound, and they didn't find anything. And that's usually the first sign that something is energetic. It doesn't mean you feel that something is there, but your body's fine. So it is something underneath that's going on. So if you're going through that, come and see me. Usually we could do something with it regarding lifting up that energy. And there's reason, usually it has something to do with what's been happening over the last 3 to 6 months. If you've been frustrated, you've been angry, you've been out of sorts, you've been people are getting you to justify things, and you're constantly unsure of something, the body will give you signs that it doesn't like you to do that. You have nothing to justify for. You have nothing to be an obligation to do anything. It's just the way you're looking at it. If it's an obligation that you don't like doing, you need to relabel it in not the sense that you're avoiding something. But a lot of things are energetic in my world in that way. Everything has a meaning, everything has a justification. And so if you are going through that, then come and see me. When you're feeling off, when you're feeling balanced, that you need something. And I have various crystals. I have a full selection of crystals that can also bring a person into balance, including our new copper bracelets. We're going to be looking into getting it magnetized. Because there's a lot of studies showing that magnets on copper are very powerful, increases circulation, helps with vertigo, and a whole host of other things. So we're looking into that. But yeah, these are great. I've had mine for about a week, and I am feeling a lot better. I can connect faster. I was pretty fast before, but I like when it's really fast. I get a lot of people calling, looking for guidance of for investment and so on. And when someone's on the phone, they don't even have to give me the whole story. I already know what the answer is. And so I have several clients that constantly are calling for investment ideas, and most times it's it's like you can need to wait. There's a lot of scams out there. So if you ever get a call about something and you're not sure, give me a call. I won't even charge you. It's going to be like 2 seconds or a minute or so. I can text you back and get a feel for whatever is going on. I don't even need the whole story. So if that'll help you, then use that as an offer. So Tony Jennis from Higher Self, we are here to raise your spirits, and ongoing business with Josh. And he's been great on our computer and our website and so on. Eric Senego, ongoing business with him. Had a BAM with Sandy Bonneau, our pet whisperer. Susan McGarry, I got an order in for her. And Bernie, I was at your East Trade Winds last week, and I will be again this week. And Shane, yes, I sent my wife in to get her knees fixed, and looks like they're in pretty good shape. She's walking a lot better than she did. So Shane, whatever you're doing, keep doing it, buddy. Back to you, Bernie.
Cool. Send the spouse to the Shane.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Pain that feels so good. Okay, sorry, I'm mixing a whole bunch of things up here. I shouldn't do that. And Shane, it's good pain. I know that. So my name's Bernie. I do connections. I'm going to just highlight, if you go into the Knack for Business blog post, you can subscribe to it. You get the most recent activity, both from East Trade Winds, Canada Growth Network, people that have been podcast guests. And if you go to the knackforbusiness.com website and hit the question mark, use the chat bot, search out for previous episodes, or if you're searching for something from the business world, looking. One guy does chemical. He's a chemical engineer. So if you got vats of potions to be mixed and you're going to scale up, buddy can do that for you, whether it's whether you're making paint or otherwise. I'm going to start. Oh yeah. I sent a connection to Carl over the weekend, someone I had a chat with, and he's actually going to be hopefully chatting with Orlando soon, who's contemplating podcasting. So, again, shows you the power of chatting. And yes, Orlando's the same guy speaking later on today. Without much more ado, the ever popular, the ever successful, ever great soul, Carol Lee. Over to you, ma'am.
Well, thank you so much, Bertie, for those kind words. That's a nice way to be introduced. So happy to be here today. I'm going to share my screen with you all. See. Success.
Coming. It's loading slowly.
Loading. Yep.
Are you looking to show it in slide presentation mode or with the things on the side?
I'm going to keep it as is because I find when I convert it over,
You
I
you are.
always do that wrong. So I'm quite comfortable from this perspective. So we'll
Go ahead.
we'll get things going. I want to start off first of all by telling you about our weekend. Last week when I joined you all last Monday, we talked about the Bridalwood Food Drive that was taking place on the 25th, so on Saturday. Eric was with the group last week, and he also said how he was going to be volunteering at that. And I know Bernie, being a resident in that community, he also was participating. So I want to share some exciting news about the food drive. So this past Saturday, we had the Bridalwood Food Drive take place down in the Bridalwood neighborhood. So that encompasses not just Bridalwood, but also Emerald Meadows and Monaghan Landing. So pretty much that whole south quadrant portion of Canada. And it was the third annual event. It was a huge success. And drum roll, we collected close to 40,000 pounds of food. That is absolutely amazing. On my slide here, it says 39,705. Well, of course, that number is still rising. The organizers reached out on Sunday, and actually they've got a few more 100 pounds. So we're going to hit over 40,000. Just to put it into context, last year was about 36, and the year before that was about 24, 25. So the number keeps growing and growing, and we were well prepared this year. We spent a lot of time with the volunteers and my colleagues here at the Canada Food Cupboard getting everything ready to be able to receive that volume of donations. In addition to that, we also had a great weekend for monetary donations as part of that food drive. They collected over $2,600 as well. It was a huge undertaking, not just organized by the Bridalwood Community Association, which Eric is on the board of that association, if you didn't know. Also, the Canada Hazeldean Lions Club. Some great sponsors were involved. The West team, the Venby Seniors Living residents down there. So again, a huge community event. Lots of volunteers, hundreds of volunteers. They had one night of stapling 8,000 bags. So the way we do it down here is we give everybody a bag with a list that's attached to it of the most needed items. So those bags have to be stapled. Then the Saturday before the food drive, volunteers go door to door and leave the bag on your doorstep saying, we'll be back next week to collect. And then this past Saturday, the collection took place. So again, a huge undertaking. And I've got some pictures to share just to show you some of the exciting people that were at the event. We had in the bottom picture there on the left, you'll see Mayor Sutcliffe. He stopped by to give his remarks and to thank everybody. We had MPP Karen McCrimmon. And then in the blue jacket there is our councillor for Canada South, Alan Hubley. So it was nice to have different levels of government there to support us and to appreciate all the great work. The big group picture, again, I looked for Eric in this picture, but I didn't see him there. This was at the start, everybody kind of rallying before the event took place. And then the bottom picture in the right is just showing kind of how the drive-through went. So volunteers went out with their vehicles, picked up the bags, and then brought them to the Eva Jane Center. And my last photo is kind of a before and after of our warehouse space. So this is how we prepped with knowing we were going to have a large volume of donations. We had a lot of empty bins. We call them our whales, those gray ones on wheels. Each one of those can hold roughly about 1,000 pounds. And then we had a lot of temporary bins. So your standard apple or pumpkin bins that you get from the grocery store, we had a lot of those. And if those are completely full, they can hold up to about 800 to 1,000 pounds as well. So as you can imagine, 40,000 pounds, we had food everywhere. So it was a huge success. And these donations are going to help the Canada Food Cupboard probably for the next few months. So it was a great undertaking, a huge undertaking, but a great result. And we're so thankful to our community. So to Bernie and to Eric and everyone that lives down in the Bridalwood community, thank you so much for participating. It was a wonderful event. So with that being said, I'm going to turn the tables now and talk a little bit more about the Canada Food Cupboard and our programming. And I know I've shared this slide before when I've spoke previous times to members of the Phoenix Business Exchange, but this is our mission statement. And I want to bring it up because I want to highlight one key word in our mission statement. So to read it directly, our primary mission is to offer the healthiest food choices and support to those we serve by engaging and inspiring our volunteers, donors, partners, and community. So to highlight the key word, I want to highlight the healthiest food choices. That's so important to us at the Canada Food Cupboard to be able to offer those healthy choices. And I know every food bank across the country feels the same way. Food banks aren't just offering boxes of Kraft dinner and cans of soup. You know, we do so much more than just offering those non-perishable staples. Fresh food is an important part of our programming. So why fresh food? Why is fresh food important to families that come in and use food banks or food cupboards? So here's just a few reasons. Obviously, improved nutrition and health. Families often face diet-related health issues. They need the fresh food, fresh vegetables, proteins to maintain or improve their health, rather than relying on a lot of processed foods. You know, we talk about chronic disease prevention. It's an important piece. Dignity and choice. Many food banks offer a shopping model, which we do here in Canada, which empowers families and clients to choose their own foods. Nobody wants to be told, here's a box of food, this is what you get. People want to be able to come in and pick out their own groceries. So offering fresh food gives families the freedom to select foods that align with their dignity, their cultural background, and personal preferences. You know, we often see families that come from, you know, different backgrounds, different cultures, different countries, and to come in and say, oh, here's a box of Kraft dinner. A lot of them don't even know what that is, right? So it's about coming in and being able to select your own choices. Child development, you know, big part of it. We talk about brain development. We need those key essential fats and vitamins and minerals and proteins. So families in particular, they need access to healthy, fresh food to support physical and cognitive growth of their children, which is often difficult on a limited income. And again, to meet your daily needs. Fresh food, we know how expensive it is, and making it the hardest items for people that are food insecure to afford on their own. But these reasons aren't just reasons why people come to food banks need these fresh choices. I'm sure these are all reasons why we want fresh choices in our own diets. And that's why we're so proud of the fresh food program that we have in Canada. So we always like to use this little saying that good things are growing at the Canada Food Cupboard. Since 2013, we've had a fresh food program where we offer fresh fruits, fresh veggies, milk, yogurt, cheese, bread, meats, fish, eggs, and vegetarian proteins. And over the past year, we've also expanded our fresh food program to offer culturally appropriate choices, including halal meat. Now, we've offered halal choices for a while, but it was never a priority. So now it's one of our priorities, and we make sure that we have those available for the families that need those choices. So again, I like to share photos. So these are some photos for those of you that haven't been to the Canada Food Cupboard. Here's just some pictures of our fridges and freezers. You can see the picture on the left of the two side-by-side glass fridges that's full of all of our fresh fruits there. You can see we've got quite a selection. We always offer bananas, apples, and oranges, and then whatever else is on sale. So in a lot of cases, it could be pineapple, strawberries, whatever the sale fruit is. And then for veggies, we always have potatoes, carrots, and onions, and broccoli. And then again, whatever else is on sale. So in this case, this week, it looked like there was some peppers on sale. So again, those are the selections that was last week. We always have yogurt, milk, and cheese. And one of the things we're proud of here is we offer a full bag of milk. So you get your 3 individual bags in that one bag of milk. Some programs don't have the capacity to give out a full bag, and they just give out the individual sleeves instead. We have fresh breads. You see that there highlighted on the green shelves. And then we also have frozen bread. So all artisan bread that comes in, we have to freeze. As you know, artisan bread doesn't have a lot of preservatives, so it's not shelf stable for a long period of time. So we freeze all artisan bread products that come in. And then the bottom picture, it's kind of hard to decipher what this one looks like. It's boxes, but every box is a different protein. So the top choice are all the halal choices and the vegetarian choices. And then the bottom, the middle row and the bottom row are whether it's fish, ground beef, chicken, or in some cases, lamb and pork as well. So these are the proteins that we offer. This past spring, so within the last month, we launched this in March. We expanded our fresh food program. Again, we've always had fresh food choices, but now we're offering more. So this is an allotment card that we use. So this tells us when you come in, based on your family size, how much fresh choices you're going to make, or pardon me, you're going to get to take home with you. So for example, a family of one. So keep in mind, before you look at this, keep in mind, our food bank gives you enough food to last 5 to 7 days, right? So we don't provide enough for the full month. It's just enough for roughly 1 week period. And that's the case for most programs throughout the city. You know, we give enough for about 1 week. So a family of one would get 1 dairy product. So let's say they chose that bag of milk, 1 fruit. So again, they might pick that bag of oranges, 2 veggies. So maybe they're choosing the potatoes and the broccoli, and then 1 protein choice. So it could be meat, or the other protein choice we have also is eggs, a dozen eggs. So compare that to a family of 4. You know, a family of 4 gets 2 dairy, 2 fruit, 3 veggies, and 2 protein. We've got a lot of larger families that visit us here at the Canada Food Cupboard. So those bigger families, family of 8, for example, they're getting 4 dairy, 3 fruit, 5 veggies, and 3 protein. So you can see how important these choices are in addition to all those other non-perishable staples that we offer. So we spend a lot of money on fresh food. The first quarter of this year, 2026, this was our figures. So we spent over $41,000 on fresh food choices. So that's just for the past 3 months. So it does fluctuate quite a bit throughout the year. But our cost, we have many different variables related to our cost, whether we have a lot of donated fresh produce, whether we've grown it ourselves in our Canada Food Cupboard garden, or whether we get it from our, we have a lot of community garden plots throughout Canada. Seasonal prices is another variable. We know how much prices go up and down depending on the time of the year. And then the number of families that are coming to use our services. So again, no different than what we probably experience ourselves in our own family's budget. I mean, there's so many variables that change pricing. The Canada Food Cupboard garden is something that a lot of people don't know about. We actually have our own garden. So not a great picture. I pulled this one off of Google. We need to take a new picture, but I included a lovely picture of the sun there in the garden as well. So our garden is located just a little bit outside of Canada. We're actually, the garden's in Dunrobin on Greenland Road. If anybody golfs up that way, they'll know that area. I always joke that if we kind of walk past the camper that's there in the back, keep going, you'll eventually hit West Carleton School. So that's kind of where the garden is. It is located on a private residence property, and they donate this property to us. This is our 4th year now for the garden, and we've signed a 10-year lease with the homeowners, and they're just wonderful folks donating this land to us every year. The garden is roughly around 2,800 square feet. So I like to visualize things by comparing it to something else. I always say it's about half of the size of an NBA basketball court. So you think about that half a basketball court, that's about the size of our garden. These are just some pictures of some of the produce that we've pulled out of the garden this past year. And I also wanted to put a picture there of our water tank. We spent a lot of hours last year trying to figure out the logistics of how to collect rainwater. So we had some volunteers that built this lovely structure to kind of protect the tank that we've invested in. So we've got a lovely system in place that we don't need to rely on the well that's out there that the farmers own. The first year we had to do that and we ran into some difficulties. We didn't want to dry out their well. So now we have our own structure where we collect rainwater and gravity and all the logistics that go into getting the irrigation system in place. So we're very fortunate to have that structure in place. The bottom picture there with the wheelbarrow with those lovely tomatoes, you'll see up at the top of that picture, there's a little shed as well. So we've got a shed out there for all of our equipment that we use in the garden. In addition to what we grow, we are also blessed to get a lot of donations. We have a lot of farms that partner with us, and here's just 5 of probably the farms that partner with us the most often. So Beatbox Farms, which is not too far from us here off of Carling Avenue. And then we've got Field Trip Farms. We pick up donations from them on a weekly basis once the season gets started. And then the other one that we pick up on a regular basis is Veggie Trail Farms. Veggie Trail Farms is just not too far from the Queensway Carleton Hospital, if anybody knows that neck of the woods. So they're wonderful partners. The other 2 names that are listed here, Roshan Garden and Veg Head, we get those donations from them at the farmers markets. And they're wonderful, wonderful supporters of our program. All of these farms are just absolutely amazing. Anything that they have surplus, they reach out and we pick up these donations on a regular basis, basically weekly. So we've got fresh produce coming in almost every day once the growing season gets up and running. The bottom 2 pictures are actually farms that have dropped off to us. And the bottom one on the right there with all the bins. I mean, this was just an amazing donation. In one day, we had one farm say, our growing season's over. This is what's left over. Here you go. So in one day, we had all these lovely donations. So it's very important to us to have all this fresh food. I mentioned the farmers market. The farmers market's very important to us at the Canada Food Cupboard. You'll see a lot of different food banks and food cupboards at farmers markets throughout the city. We have a booth every Saturday, and the farmers market is going to be up and running in a couple of weeks. The second weekend of May, it launches its season again. It's on Canada Avenue. It's in the parking lot there, not too far from Best Buy, Moxie's, and that kind of area of Canada Centrum. And the market runs from 9 to 3 every Saturday. And this is an old picture. We need to get a new picture to share. Our setup looks a little bit different now, but we're there every Saturday collecting donations. And not only do the farmers bring over donations to us, but a lot of the public and people that are there purchasing. Sometimes they say, I bought bread. Here's an extra loaf that I purchased for the food bank. So they'll come by and drop off donations that way. And of course, we always collect monetary donations as well. So we are so grateful to be part of the Canada Farmers Market. We've been a part of this organization for many years, and it's great for our food bank to get these fresh food donations. So my last slide, and I love this slide, this is what food banks and food cupboards are all about, working together, being a part of our community. The Canada Food Cupboard is just one piece. All the families and the individuals and neighbors that we support and serve are another piece. And then everybody that helps us, our volunteers, our donors and partners, all working together, we can achieve a community that's resilient and help folks in Canada thrive. And that's very important to us. So thank you to everybody at PBEX for being a part of that supporter, because we wouldn't be able to do the work that we do without being part of a great community. So again, don't forget to support your local food bank. Thank you so much. That's it for me.
Carly, thank you so much. Are there any questions? Yeah, that's it. Sam, go for it.
Just to clarify, which Eric are you talking about? Eric Perron or Eric Senego?
Senego.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question, Carolee.
Sure.
What about families whose members have food sensitivities like gluten or dairy?
A great question, Kelly. We actually have a section where we offer those choices. So we have, we call it our allergy shelf, even though that's just a broad term. And we offer gluten-free, we offer nut-free, we have choices for folks that need sugar alternatives, and then for people that are high protein. Yep. So we just need to know in advance. We don't require any, official note from the doctor that someone has, a certain allergy or anything like that. People can just self-disclose, and we make sure that those choices are available to them. We have a separate little tiny freezer where we have our gluten-free frozen bread and gluten-free desserts.
That's really thoughtful. Thank you.
Quick question there, Carolee. At this time, spring, what type of foods are you looking for? Is there something in particular? I mean, we're just getting into the growing season, so I guess there's not a lot of crops yet. But or what are you looking for, like right now in April? What type of foods or products are you more looking at?
What we're seeing a shortage of is actually our baby products. So our baby food, our diapers, baby wipes, all those things that support moms and babies, moms and dads and babies. So that is what we're really shy on right now. With regards to the big food drive, it kind of met all of our needs. Last week, if you had asked me, Tony, my list was a little bit long, but this week my list is shortened because of that amazing food drive. So, but it's the baby items that we're having to buy quite regularly, especially baby food. Those little pouches, I don't know if anyone, I don't know, Jacqueline, if your grandson did the baby food pouches, but those are very popular with the families and the neighbors that we serve, and we're having to buy them constantly because we can't keep up with the volume of families with young children that are coming through.
Okay. Yeah, these pouches, they're something new. We're used to the
glass jars.
The glass jars. Okay, so they come in pouches now. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, thank you.
Carolee, thank you so much. And we have
Yeah.
a closing quote, and it's food related, oddly enough. A man chasing two rabbits ends up hungry. A wise man grows carrots. Confucius. Sorry, I'm sitting going, what are the odds? Sorry, just the quote was picked not with you in mind, and just yeah, I'm running with it now.